So here I am on another leg of my journey. I've left the Balkans behind and I'm crossing from Durrës to Bari in Italy. So it should be fun exploring Italy. It's really my first time I've spent any time there. And so I'm going to some of the iconic cities and some of the probably lesser known ones, which I'll share with you in the next few videos. So thanks for joining me in Ant Space, and I hope you enjoy this video of Italy. It's amazing how fast actually that the boat swings around. Finally, after an extra long day, I made it to my accommodation in Naples, and here am I enjoying the scene from my balcony in a private guest house. Well, here I am, my first day in Naples, and just wandering around. Just left the guest house that I'm staying in and getting a feel for the place, all the little stores, all the little streets. This is just awesome. And of course, Naples is not a quiet place, but around every corner there's a surprise. And before I knew it, I was into the local markets, and yet people come down to request what fruit and veg they want. They don't pick their own. No, the shopkeeper does it for them. So I just came up to see the Maradona mural, and yeah, this place is humming. Well, Nepal's amazing. I've just been wandering around for ages, just looking. There's so many things to look at, and I just saw this piazza where I've come into, which is just like, there's all these different areas. It's just an amazing place. And it's very diverse. Yes, it's very crowded, but well, what do you expect from an amazing old city? And I keep finding these little alleyways and archways and private homes, hotels. You can just literally wander for hours, just looking and looking at people looking. It's very cool. And you can get off on your own. And it can be totally quiet. Like now, there's just no one around me. So I've now come down to the Piazza del Cristo or something like that, and that's a basilica over there, and I'll put the name of it when I'm editing. And this square is very empty. It's just like hardly anyone here compared with the streets that I've been walking down where all the shops are. So from the outside, this basilica looks like it's no longer in use. But you come inside, and yes, it's rather unique. It's just one big circle. Saw this artwork, so went into the shop to take a look, and there was more, and they were quite happy for me to photograph and to video them working. And of course, like every city in Europe, there's renovations going on. But yes, I've walked right down to the harbour. And yeah, some people are swimming in there. There's lots of boats. And a few of the upper class hotels here, Royal Continental, etc., etc. So along here it's called the Promenade, and back there we've got the cruise ships. We've got a few people swimming. And there, we've got Mount Vesuvius. So I'm gonna try and get there while I'm here in Naples. That's partly why I'm staying in Naples. This is a good base for day trips. And yeah, he's enjoying the sun too. So it might not have been obvious so far, but Naples is really hilly. And on the steep streets there's often steps, and then there's a little concrete ramp, so the motorbikes can still go up it. So they think about everything here. This is a typical street, no tourists. And we have the fruit truck here. Got its own scales and everything. Sorted. Well, here I go on another underground tour. Now, those who've watched my video for a while know that I like my underground tours, especially on a hot day, because it is so much cooler descending underground. These photos were really bizarre, the treatment that people had here in the caves during the war. It was just really quite random. So this part of the cave that we're looking in was actually a bomb shelter, and yeah, it's a bit dark, but it should fix itself. There's a few relics left. There's a few escape stairs being put in, and around the corner here is actually where the nursery was. So they had to hand pass buckets of water down if there was a birth going to happen, and so they passed the buckets down. So we're going back in time now. We've come out of the bomb shelter.
Meant to represent a bridge, but seen from the perspective and giving you the illusion that there's an arch here, piercing the wall. I mean, in 3 years, and despite all the structural issues that he had faced along the way, he found the time to embellish the bourbon. Okay, let's line up on that song.
So not only cars, but there was motorbikes and scooters.
I bet you're wondering why.
So although it seems like I've looked at lots of old buildings today and taken lots of videos, I'm actually now in the old town proper. So it's actually a beautiful time of the afternoon to be here because the sun is so good for filming.
Who is the one that Napoleon nicknamed the church of the Capucelle. Capucelle is Napoleon for skulls. It's so called because in the first place the underground level of the church was a cemetery built after an epidemic of plague.
So there are some laneways that aren't wide enough for cars, or maybe there's really little space cars, but always the motorbikes, the Vespas, etc., etc. And we continue through alleys and archways. This is so cool, but I do have to keep my wits about me because of all the motorbikes. Like, you just, before you know it, there's another one coming up behind you or beside you.
Today occupied by the Duomo was founded also the first Christian church of Italy in Europe, called Santa Maria del Principio, St. Mary of the Beginning. This church was founded in the first after Christ by St. Peter. Because when St. Peter moved from the Holy Land in Palestine to born in Rome to spread the Christian,
So that was good timing. I love to hear the bells. So here's some ruins way back from like the 1500s, and you can see, if I zoom in close, like in Duress, they included the lines of bricks because of all the seismic activity. And just talking to our guide, there's been earthquakes, of course, all around Italy in recent years, as well as the Vesuvius eruption way back when. So this is an interesting alleyway because look at all that scaffolding. Yeah, like I think I said just before, they do have tremors here. And so, yeah, it's a bit of security maybe, I don't know. But it would be very difficult to get rid of buildings here because everything's joined to something else. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. Well, it's certainly the night of the buskers. It's actually a beautiful evening. It's cooling down quite nicely now. And there's so many different buskers. Like, there is just so many different buildings. And I just went into that cathedral behind the man taking photos, and it's all being restored. And there's actually a service going on, which is a bit of a first, or first in a while. So off on a little day trip today. The first thing I do is go down in the lift. It's a public lift. It takes me up and down from the station to my apartment with a little bit of a walk on either direction. So it's great, handy, saves the hills. Well, today's going to be a different day. It's going to be a spontaneous day. So I spontaneously caught the train to Salerno, which is right at the eastern point of the Amalfi Coast. And now my aim is to go and find a ferry and head back around the coast. So I'll go and see what time the ferries go. I don't really mind which town I go to, so I'm just going to play it all by ear. I started early, so I've got all day, but Salerno looks quite nice anyway. Oh, it's cooler here, which is really good. Well, that was all very easy. I got a ticket to Amalfi, which is one of the main cities on the Amalfi Coast, so just heading off on the ferry now. And yeah, it's a beautiful day, beautiful temperature.
And when we came along on the train, I noticed we were going through lots of tunnels. And then when you look back over here, there's lots of the viaducts, so on the road, the skirting. So we had a few different stops. This was our first one at a little town called Cilento. It's just so pretty the way it's just tucked in amongst the hills. It's just really the way to arrive at these places. I was looking up here at this brilliant road and thought, wow, how good would it be to drive along one of these roads right on the edge of the Amalfi Cliffs.
Custom to drive this coastal road, so it has lots of traffic delays, but it's still something that a lot of people want to do, and a lot of people actually hire scooters to do it in, so there you go. So I've given myself an hour and a half to wander around Amalfi. It's not a lot of time, but I don't want to get to Naples too late. So quickly rush across the road, and yes, there I am. I'll flick you around. And of course, markets. What else do you have? when you explore an old town. But oh, it's beautiful and cool in here. You get a nice cool breeze. And yeah, time to just explore. And I might even get something to eat. Oh wow, this is such a different town square. Look at that building up there. So beautiful. Yes, well it may be super crowded in here, but I'm actually really enjoying it. It's just that absolute beachside buzz and people just on vacation and the cool buildings. Oh, yeah, what do I say? It's magic. This is pretty cool. People are filling up water bottles. I don't think I would be filling up my water bottle. There's fish in there. But it's the most ornate water fountain I've seen. It's not very wide, but we've all managed to get through. Only just. So Amalfi isn't all just about the town square. We've got the whole waterfront going on as well, and all the cafe and restaurants, and people buy the limoncello and the sorbets, and look at the beach. I'm like, man, is this a popular place or what? I can see why all the accommodation down here was just so expensive. I think doing the day trip is definitely the best idea. So this is a rare moment, no cars. Who would have thought? Oh, here they come up behind me. Yeah, and as you can see, no footpath. You just got to go with the traffic. Just looking out to the sea, I suddenly turned around and I'm like, man, this water is just as busy as the road. Look at that. It's just crazy. Crazy, but so cool. And yeah, the road's still really quiet. Who would have thought? Saw all that traffic. Well, I've booked a bus, so I'll be taking that shortly. And it'll be really interesting to see what it's like. Unfortunately, I'm on the inside of the road, but I can cope with that. Well, that was the town of Amalfi done in 2 hours. So now I'm on my third mode of transport for the day. I'm on a very noisy 2-hour bus to Sorrento. So hopefully I get some views. I am on the left-hand side of the bus, but of course we're driving on the right-hand side of the road, so next to the cliffs. He's definitely got it down to a fine art. He knows exactly what he's doing. Wow, so impressive. Right, they gotta go back. So much fun. Nerves to steal that driver. Now what do you do when you meet a bus? absolutely brilliant. It's obviously done this so many times. So another beautiful spot of Italian coastline. This is Sorrento. So this is on the west side of the Italian peninsula, whereas this morning I was more on the east side of the peninsula, the Amalfi Coast. Well, now I'm waiting for I think it'll be my final mode of transport today. So I'm at Sorrento and I've just booked the ferry. So I'm going to get the ferry from here to Naples. So yeah, I've just got about half an hour to have another look around Sorrento. It's just looked like lots of shops at the moment, but I'll have a quick squizzy around and see what I can see. Well, I'm leaving the Amalfi Coast as we head out to Sorrento. Unfortunately, I didn't think to check that I'd be sitting inside or outside on the ferry, and there is no option on this one. So it's not dirty lenses on my phone, it's actually the dirty window. But I'll still enjoy it anyway. So that's not actually my boat, but this is the port, and it's pretty busy. Like I walked near here yesterday, but didn't see so many ferries then. But as you can see by all these people with luggage, this is obviously a starting point, ending point for the Amalfi Coast. So I don't often take videos in supermarkets, but this aisle is just all pasta. I just had to share that with you. And look at it, just keeps going and going and going. So I've done a few videos from my balcony, but I thought I'd just show you where my balcony actually was. It's that one up there. So yeah, in a great spot to look up and down the road. Well, I certainly live in a crazy neighbourhood, but it's great, lots of entertainment. But what I really like is it's really dark now, but these little laneways are lit so well. I have no hesitation about going out in the evening. So I was looking for a genuine pizza place and I think I found it. How's it? Well, it was so easy to get this pizza and it was just cooked in front of me. I hope the video in the shop came out okay, and now I'm going to sit out on my balcony and enjoy it. Yummo! So another beautiful start to the day. I'm just waiting for the lift to take me down to the local station, and then I'm headed off to explore some ruins. So come join me. So I just got off the train, ready to go on my explore of Pompeii, stopped to get some tickets, and the lady said Pompeii is free today. So how good is that? So there's the main entrance, but I think I'm going to go to the other entrance. Let me just check my map. Yes, so absolutely correct. Didn't need tickets to come into Pompeii. How cool is that? Just as well I didn't buy online. Well, it's certainly rather mind-boggling to think this whole city was preserved and unearthed. That's very cool. Like all the different brickwork, and yeah, it's just fascinating. Like I haven't got an audio tour, I didn't pay for a guided tour. I thought I'll just wander. It's a very hot place and I don't want to be out in the sun for like hours and hours trying to stand around listening to a guide. I think this is my preferred way of doing it this time. Maybe if I came in the winter it would be a little different. So this area was the Basilica. I mean, you know, what a huge cathedral all the way down there, and this is all up on a hill, so it would have been, you know, the top of everything, overlooking right down to the coast. So what I find interesting is you come in an area like this and there's lots of different building materials. We got different shapes of bricks. So it's like, well, has it been restored more recently in the 1900s, or how much is old? And I guess that's what you'd find out with a guided tour. I thought this area was pretty cool. Look at this. You can imagine the gladiators here, right? So I can certainly see why they say this can take 7 hours to really go all around Pompeii. And I just took a photo of my map, so I'll try and remember to include that in this vlog, because it is just so huge. There is no way that I could ever explore it all in one day. So I'm just standing on an intersection of 4 roads. It's like a crossroad. And what interested me was there's actually roadblocks. So that man's just got in my way. See these big rocks here? That would have stopped the carts going up. And yeah, the roading is pretty much like ours nowadays. So I was hoping I'd get up a bit to give it a better perspective. This is not too bad, but it'd be good to find higher. So this is another bath. So this is all original. It's just been uncovered, all the ash, etc. And you can just imagine it's like the Hannums that I've been into. Very cool. So this whole area has just been uncovered. A bit of electricity put in, obviously, and yeah, so it's pretty much how it was. So Pompeii was certainly amazing to wander around, but as you can see, lots and lots of tourists, so time to go. So best seat on the bus again, it's Vesuvius. That's where I'm heading. Okay, I'm finally walking up the volcano. A real drama actually, because you can't get on your own internet. So you have to use the free Wi-Fi, and then you have to buy the ticket using all your credit card details. They don't even have PayPal. So against my better judgment, I did all that. Now, fingers crossed, I don't get scammed or anything, because like many other people there, we were like, this is not a good way of doing something. So yeah, it would be good to have that on the website, that's for sure. So I have to be really careful walking up here because there's lots of trip hazards. So I didn't video on the steep part coming up, but I was very pleased with myself that I kept walking just at Jane's pace. So if you've watched my coast to coast videos, you'll know about Jane and the way she set the pace for me when I was hiking across England. So yeah, we've got some steps here, so I better pop the video away and keep going up. So there you go, climbed all the way up, no stopping. It's nice and shady here, so I'm just going to stop here in the undercover area and then I'll take photos and videos on the way down. So unfortunately it's really hazy. I mean, I can see it with the naked eye, but I can't see where Pompeii ruins are, and it should be down there somewhere. So maybe on a big screen later I'll be able to see it. And of course, here is the crater. And the lady, I just asked one of the guides if you could actually see the ruins, and you can, but because the site, because the sun's quite high at the moment, yeah, it's not very clear. Obviously, when the sun's much lower, it's much easier to see the ruins and you can make out the amphitheatre. The different rocks are quite cool as you look at the whole shape of it. And I think it still slides, you know, all that dust. It reminds me, yeah, surprisingly, of when I walked up Kilimanjaro. Now that's a long time ago. So this is the track that I walked up. I just thought I'd show you going down so you know what it's like. Yeah, not terribly steep, just steady up, up, up. And I actually think it's quite beautiful. I don't know what you think, but there's a few plants. The colour red is lovely. Just really, really nice walk. Down here is quite cool. You can actually see the path of the lava going down through there. So these are different ruins I'm coming into. These are the Herculean ruins, which I'd heard about. And I didn't know if I was going to actually make it here because it was a different train than the one I was on, but luckily I met a lovely Romanian girl and together we muddled through. She's also travelling solo. So it was definitely worth stopping. And why the other one was free was on Sunday, all museums in all of Europe are free. And this counts as a museum. How wonderful is that?
How they were surprised by the lava.
Yeah. It's a totally different area. And the first time I've seen anything like a shelving system. Was in Rwanda. So they're still discovering. Yeah. It's just preserved. And then on this one there's Latin here, which I'm sure could be translated, but not by Google Translate. So I'm one level down to what we were before, and then if we can do another level where that road is. So I'm on, I think, maybe my second to last train. This one's heading back to Naples, and I think it's the oldest train I've been on since India. Oh my gosh, this train is so old. And to think that it's the one that goes from the Herculean ruins to Naples and also to Sorrento. It's like, oh my gosh, so many tourists come on this train. It's so funny. But anyway, I've just said goodbye to a lovely Romanian girl that I did the Herculean ruins with. So that was a bit of fun. And yeah, I think just one more train after this one. So we shall wait and see if it all pans out. I'm just leaving Naples. It actually took me a bit longer to leave than I thought because my train was delayed for well over, or nearly an hour. So, but it's just arrived, there it is. And yes, I'm getting on my first intercity train in Italy. So let's see if I've read my boarding pass correctly because it's all in Italian. And I should have actually said, thanks for watching my video on Naples. I've enjoyed sharing it with you. I hope you've enjoyed it. And maybe one day you'll take some of my tips and suggestions and places I've been and enjoy it as much as I do. So thanks for watching and bye for now.